style that is kind of popular is wholesale flipping. There's a lot of people out there promoting how to wholesale properties. And these are typically going to be ugly houses because you have to really get a deep discount on these houses. You're going to buy them low, all cash, at a very cheap price, and then you're going to resell it at a low price to another investor, someone who wants to take on this property. Now, it could be a pretty house, but normally it's going to be an ugly house that needs a lot of work. Now, another thing you can do as far as wholesale flipping is you could get a house under contract and sell your contract. So that's wholesale flipping. Now, by the way, as we go through these 7 strategies, all of these strategies are useful, but to focus on just any one of them is kind of a challenge. You want to become a transaction engineer. So, for example, if you're using the ultimate strategy, you might go ahead and flip properties and wholesale properties along the way. But if you were just focusing on flipping properties, you have some big challenges. One, there's a lot of competition for the best deals. Most investors are taught, buy cheap, flip to other investors. Now, another challenge is a lack of wholesale buyers. Before the market changed, there was more wholesale buyers, but with all the challenges that we're having with the banks and getting retail buyers financed, there's a lot of wholesale buyers are out of business. There's also a lack of hard money available, and wholesalers rely on hard money to buy their cheap deals from you. And the hard money lenders have stricter and stricter guidelines. They're loaning on less loan to value, so you can't borrow as much money, and it's just harder to fund these deals with hard money. Another challenge is a lack of qualified buyers, as we discussed on retailing. And wholesalers rely on qualified buyers. If they buy a house, fix it up, they're going to retail that property and sell it to a qualified buyer. That's why a lot of wholesalers are out of business. Wholesalers also rely on that new bank financing to sell. So they're looking for qualified buyers who can get loans. Any investment strategy today where you're relying on a bank to buy or sell or refinance, you're out of control, and I think the challenges around in that arena will get bigger and bigger. So let's avoid that. Another big challenge is leaving too much profit on the table. If you can buy so cheap, and then you can turn around and flip it to another investor who's going to make some money, you're probably leaving a lot of profit on the table. It'd be better to be in a position where you can keep all that profit yourself. If it's a good deal for another investor, why isn't it a good deal for you? And so we need some solutions to make that happen. One of the reasons why you would flip a deal is because you can't fund it, or you got some short-term money you have to pay back. You don't have enough time. And you're just going to flip it for some quick cash. So you have a limited exit plan typically for flipping. You're just going to, buy it and sell it. And you must perform quickly, because normally any money you've raised to acquire the deal needs to be paid back within a year or less, 6 months to a year. That's typical hard money. If you get a contract that you're going to flip, you're going to have to flip it before the deadline on your contract. And again, there's some income tax consequences from flipping deals. It's all considered ordinary income, and that's going to take a big bite out of your profits. And again, it's only one payday. You flip a property, you got to go flip another one. So that's wholesale flipping. You can make money at that, and you can continue to make money at that, but to rely on that as a main investing model is very limited, and there's a lot of challenges. All right, if you are going to flip properties, ugly houses, flip to other investors, some tips I can give you would be you want to build a wholesale buyers list. So the more people you can flip your properties to, the more success you're going to have. Next, you want to become active in your real estate investing club, because that's where you're going to find a source of buyers. And so you want to become active in your real estate investing club and get to know a lot of other investors. Another tip, if you can raise the cash to buy the property and repair the property with longer-term private money, that's going to help you out. You'll be less under the gun to get it paid off. But the real solutions are, what you want to do is you want to target homeowners with equity. Now, we're going to talk about the ultimate strategy as an investment model, and as you know, that model is targeting homeowners with equity. So you're going to find out, you're going to see that a lot of the solutions to any of these models is just to do what you normally would do if you focus mostly on the ultimate strategy for buying and selling houses. So why are you going to target homeowners with equity? Because you have to buy the house cheap, you have to capture equity in the deal, and so it's hard to wholesale flip a house that doesn't have a lot of equity. Also, you want to avoid relying on just a wholesale buyer. You want to have multiple exits. You want to be able to buy low and then hold for cash flow. I mean, if you can buy a house at 50 cents on the dollar and sell it for 60 cents on the dollar, you can make a little cash spread there and some quick cash. But with the ultimate strategy, you can buy at 50 cents on the dollar. You can borrow 60 cents on the dollar, put some cash in your pocket, and then have a positive cash flow for many, many years. So one of the exits using the ultimate strategy is to hold the property for cash flow, even if you pay all cash cheap. You want to be prepared to hold if you can't flip it as is. And another exit you can have would be to do the minimum remodel instead of a full remodel, and then sell on sweat equity. So you buy a house that you would normally flip, but go ahead and do a small remodel and then sell using the ultimate strategy, using creative terms. You can sell on the sweat equity program. That's allowing your buyer to trade as part or all of their down payment, fixing up the house. Okay, so that's a creative exit. If you can fund all or part of your purchase price with 0% financing, then you're going to have a number of different exits. You can pay more for the property, and you can get more deals done. And instead of coming up with all the cash to pay the seller, if you can get the seller to take part or even all of their money with 0% owner financing, that's going to solve some of the issues. Don't wholesale flip, keep all the profits yourself. That would be my number one solution. If I get a great deal, I'm not going to flip it to another investor. I'm going to keep it because I'm giving away way too much money on the table when I flip a property. And again, why flip a property for 5, 10, 15, 20 grand when I can pull out 5, 10, 15, 20 grand buying a property using the ultimate strategy?